So wonderful. So, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about parenthood through your autistic journey with Jake?
I wasn't prepared. No, I'm kidding. It's uh the the biggest thing that I learned was I had so much more to learn. It was I I didn't know how much I didn't know until I became a parent, you know? And there was so much it's crazy to say that because there was a lot of things that like I had to learn on the fly, and it was awkward, it was silly, it was ugly, it was a lot of things that I had to learn. And still, like 14 years in, there's still some things where I'm like, man, looking back, I could have done something differently. But we're all like that. There's no set instructions to
No,
the how you do things. I think the one thing that we
you
can
always
do
try to do your best, right?
right, and I just wanted to be, you know, in my quest to be dad, what was like, the best example I had of being a dad was my own. And he was, you know, he was a guy of very few words, but but he's really meaningful with what he says. So when my dad talks, it's like when he says something to me and I'm like, okay, I know he really means it. And it's like I made sure to, have that same meaning in all the actions I do also. So when so I tell him sometimes it's like, like I'm trying to do my best impression of grandpa, and it's like, and so he goes back to my dad. He's like, is he doing it right? But I mean, it's, one of the cool things is that you know, doing things together. That was the one thing that I remembered, like the one part I've said that I wanted to do or I wanted to pass on was the things that my dad and I that we still do together, the things that like, that we used to do when I was a kid. I tried to like emulate that with Jake in our own way. And, the drawing thing became our thing. And now I'm able to introduce him to the cartoons I used to love, the the movies I used to watch. He's into the toys and the video games that I used to play. And it's a lot of fun. Like, it was a lot to learn. It's just a lot. It was a lot of stumbling.